we meet in the flesh at last. So they say. The telling will never cease. All you have witnessed was you, though. You, perhaps. But you, the Tuatha, I weep for what... I beg you. I seek only justice for what has been done to me all these many lifetimes. Don't I deserve as much? Don't we all? No longer are you at war with me for reasons you do not understand. You have seen the world as I have. We usher in a new season, you and I. Now go. I shall prepare a place for you. Our telling is whatever we wish to make it. Come, my love. It is time we returned to the House of Ballads and assumed the mantle of leadership. This is our time. With the fall of the Winter Court, there's much to be done to renew our influence across the Phalanx. We will start here in the Court of Enchantments. New songs will be sung, new heroes will rise. You and I shall choose whose name is remembered after all the fires go out. This is the season of a new telling, one in which you and I shape the narrative to satisfy our desires. It is a new dawn, my love. I pity Wenson, for in the end all of his posturing did not amount to courage. Behind his sweet facade was the sweet smell of nothingness, simply vapor. In time that role will lose all meaning. I now rule the House of Ballads. We will find a new name on which to hang our sorrows.
The terrible course of nature ensues. Yet I'll not harm her, nor preclude justice. A single parting gift of love I give to this misguided maid of Windermere. She will not suffer as I suffered, no. A swift and painless death I grant to her, and give her illusion, as she to I. And balmy blood and breath from her pours forth, a hidden dagger wielded in my hand, a torture to see the ignorant soul. The white birds of winter slowly chased each other to the cold ground as the mourners wept their tears of the hero and the maid. done it!
Thank you. The hero returns.
The hero returns. But to what? You have, and the remnants of the telling scatter in your wake. Your presence here was the change I saw coming. It was the looming death on the horizon. I do not blame you, Sagrul. This world, this Amalur, is a realm of mortals. A kingdom of dust for transient souls on their way from one life to another. It is not a fey world. It is not my world. Perhaps you and the maid will find reassurance in this volatility. I cannot. I will remain here to serve this house, as has been my role for many seasons. Now, as it was then, I am a servant of the House of Ballads. Such events were not unknown to me, mortal. I have foreseen your arrival here for many seasons. I have foreseen the upheaval and the loss. Winston's tale will live on in the telling, far longer than even we know. However, his actions in Windermere will be part of the ballad now. His final cowardice.
You have my allegiance, but not my approval. The Maid of Windermere is our sworn enemy. The loss of King Wenson saddens me. What is mine?
You have defeated the maid, but what becomes of the telling? The Maid of Windermere has always wanted to destroy the House of Ballads. That is the telling. It'll not change. The telling was simpler before you came to us, mortal. The Maid of Windermere has always wanted to destroy the House of Ballads. That is the Greetings. It cheers me to see you alive. Word about the court has spread throughout the House of Ballads. What does it mean when all you've come to know is no longer? I will always have my healing, I suppose, but what shall become of the telling? I only wish I'd been there. All my lifetimes, I've waited for the moment. A time to make a real difference. I should have been there for my lords and ladies. Goodbye. Are you satisfied, Dustling? Are you pleased with the destruction you've brought to this house? The Maid of Windermere, the mortal world rises. You are proof of that. The House of Ballads is no more. Where we once had a king, there is now only our enemy. The mortal world, the House of... You are the House of... Are you satisfied? The House of... The Maid of Windermere, you are the agent of change, but it is destruction that you bring.
These are strange new days, mortal. What does this new telling suggest for the Fae? I will be here waiting. These are strange. Goodbye.
You are the agent of change. What tales are there to tell? Go well in the telling.
Niralem is sure to be expecting you, and I doubt talking with me will endear you to. Good luck with Niralem, and ignore anything.
It is good to see you. The loss of King Wenson saddened. The Maid of Windermere? Here? What has become of the House of Ballads? You have my allegiance. Forgive me if I choose not to engage you any longer.
Why, hello.
Our suspect at best.
You may be too bold even for my favor, mortal. Casting your lot with the Maid of Windermere is truly deranged. And I usually enjoy deranged.
Bye-bye.
You may be too bold even for my favor.
Bye-bye.
The maid here? What would you like? I got plenty of tastiness. Plenty of the thick, runny stuff, whatever they call it. Ugh, this yellow goo will really curl your stem. Believe me. Ah. You know.
There's something different about you. Something darker. The maid has done this to you. I do not wish to speak of it. How I couldn't see these events, these deaths. It escapes me. I am not fit to be among you. I have failed us all. See you. Yes, Your Grace? Do not listen to your servants in the House of Ballads. They are envious of what we have, of our vision of a changing future. Do not listen to your servants.
The loss of King Wenson saddens me.
Yes, Chancellor. I wish only to serve. Only the great their glory unites. Farewell.
Where we once had a king, there is now only
Such events were not
Father Ater hasn't come out of his room in days. He does this often, vanishing completely into his work.
Well, it's always nice to see a passerby. You're the traveler I'm waiting for, eh? Shall we get to business? The Worms know talent when they see it. I practically run this lodge for them. Oh, and while I'm thinking of it, stay away from the star camp up the road if you can. Run by the travelers, bunch of damn thieves. Lost nearly everything while dicing to them. Our house is leasing me this shirt for 1/3 of my wages, and it's got holes in it. Don't listen when people tell you that travelers only value the freedom to do what they wish. They also value what's in your pocket, and whatever else they can take from you. And that includes stripping your shirt from your back. Yes, I was recently contacted by Starcamp about selling the daggers, which I acquired at considerable risk and expense. So I think it's fair that I change the deal. I want to be paid in full up front. Then I'll notify you where the daggers can be recovered. That said, you can pay me now, and this can all be over with. I suppose you're right. I'd rather not get on the bad side of the travelers. I can part with the daggers for half of what I was originally asking. Is that so? Then I don't suppose I'm going to tell you how to get Drog's toothpicks after all. And before you think to try some traveler trickery, don't think of trying to steal the daggers from me. I hid the toothpicks in the She. To find them, you'll need a map, which is safely locked in a strongbox, the key to which is securely in my pocket. See you around. Good day. Well met. Hello again, traveler. You've come... Goodbye.
Welcome to our haven in the She. I am Citric Vorm. My brother Arhaus and I give assistance to any wayfarer that may need it. You look a lot more hearty than the sort we typically get here. You might be able to help me. We've had several visitors from Detir tell us that they were savagely ambushed by brownies. Unusual. Brownies of the She are not that aggressive. They mostly keep to themselves and only attack when approached. If there is indeed a group of brownies ambushing travelers, then those monsters need to be taken care of. Good. I'll see that you are rewarded for your efforts. I still have trouble believing those brownies would be so aggressive. Most unusual. If there are indeed a group of brownies follow the trail to Detir. It is in the southern She. Find the brownies, get rid of them. If there are indeed a group of brownies attacking people, then you must put a stop to it. Follow the trail to Detir. It is in the southern She. Find the brownies... Me? I don't have much to tell. I followed my brother to sea after our parents died. I enjoyed being on the ship. There was a solace there. But the ports... I cared little for the crowds. I know Arhaus misses the ocean, but I love the solitude of the forest. We lost our parents when I was young, and since then, he's always looked out for me. When he went to sea, I followed him. When he settled here, I did the same. A dangerous place, to be sure, but I find its dark depths peaceful. The solitude a welcome change over the bustling ports of Rathir. But it's not without its lighter side. Just the other day, I saw Arhaus go sprinting by with a brownie attached firmly to his arse. I've never laughed so hard. We do allow strangers to stay here. Would you like to rent a room? Let me know if you change your mind. It can be pretty exhausting out there in the She. My brother hired him, although I don't know why. Whenever there's work to do, Gunnar seems to disappear. It's a barren desert full of greedy miners and vicious bandits. Arhaus and I did our best to avoid it when we traveled here, and I'd suggest you do the same. See you later.
Welcome to our lodge. Surprised you made it out here by yourself. The She is a dangerous place. Lucas Soren, the poor soul in the next room. She did not fare so well. She was attacked by a thresh. Normally a fatal encounter in and of itself. Barely managed to make it here before passing out. That wasn't enough. She's had a rare reaction to the thresh's usually benign venom. Only thing that will save her is a rare plant found in the She. But I cannot venture out to get one. I tried, but the forest is not like the sea. I got turned around so many times it felt like the trees were dancing around me. It's just too far into the She. I could not make it. I tried, but the forest... It's just too far into the She. You will? Well, if you manage to bring me one, I'll reward you with what I can. I've heard that seerstalk grow near flowing, misting water, so you might try following the river north. I thought I heard the roar of waterfalls when I once wandered up there, but I didn't go far enough to find out. The She, you know? Seerstalk are supposed to grow near flowing, misting water. Follow the river to the northern She. I'm sure I've heard waterfalls in the distance. The Worms have always been traders. I took to the sea early in my life. I always knew I was going to captain my own ship. But fate has its way with you at times. After Rathir, I needed to get as far away from the sea as I could. I do miss the ocean, but I've come to realize that there are other joys in life. The great Dockelfar city in eastern Erethel. A great port with many a profit to be found. We must have sailed in and out of there more than any other port in the continent. But war has changed Rathir. They're not as friendly as they used to be. My younger brother. After I went to sea, he couldn't wait to join me. Our parents wouldn't let him. Said he was too young. But after they died, the sea was the only place for him to go. After the trouble in Rathir, I told him he didn't have to come with me, but he insisted that families stick together. Gunnar showed up one day begging for help. Said he was a poor miner from Detir who lost his job when his mine shut down. Not sure I believe him, though. Hired him more out of pity than anything. I'm not sure he can actually do anything useful. She managed to tell me her name before passing out. That and a thresh had attacked her. I tried to help her as best I could, even gave her my room to recover in. But nothing has helped. I'm afraid it's only a matter of time. This forest has been trying to kill me ever since we got here. If it's not boggarts springing out of the bushes, it's brownies trying to take a bite out of my arse. I tell you, I much prefer the ocean. At least the things trying to eat me there are down under the water. I tried to help her, but nothing has helped. I'm afraid I haven't seen one myself, but I've heard they're dangerous things. Demented trees with branches sharp as razors. Normally they're surrounded by boggarts, so if you see any of those, keep your eyes open. The thresh may not be far behind. Another time, then.
My blood is on fire! Please, make the pain stop!
Hello there.
Greetings.
Do you wish to join me in meditation, Dustling? Do you wish to join me in meditation, Dustling?
While the shaper brushed the plains with hills and wheat, and the carver moulded the deserts with a careful, measured hand, the third of the Majestics stood from the earthen cradle and beheld the glories of their work. He was the architect and carried in his mind a dream, the form of growth, a design shaped in nature, a place of wild abundance in harmony. Welcome. Niralim has been waiting. Niralim says few words, and even fewer words are spoken of the children of dust. You are quite the exception. Niralim would not mention you unless there was some pressing matter of fate. You should speak with the wise tree yourself and learn of what has been foreseen. Chosen by the Summer Court, I serve as one of many tenders to Niralim. Occasionally I'm privileged enough to hear the wisdom of the great tree itself. Niralim is wiser than King Tatarian, and older than memory itself. Niralim's words of wisdom carry much weight with the Summer Court. We care for the tree, making sure it grows strong and true. But we are more than just simple gardeners. It is an honor to be one of the chosen who meditate in the shade of Niralim's wisdom, cultivating and bonding with its spirit. Go with wisdom.
Careful where you tread, for these grounds are sacred. Niralim was a sapling long ago, when Dalentarth was a barren waste. Careful where you tread, Niralim. May your wisdom grow within us all. Niralim was a sapling long ago.
Niralim, may your wisdom grow within us all. She sought to bring the light of truth, to save a village plagued, to find a cure for them, her quest, the Maid of Windermere, her test. She faced the evil maid enraged, she trembled with her wrath. Undo your evil magic now, or I will end this tale, I vow. The great tree speaks to few.
Come closer, little curiosity. The curious one seeks a way to the Fae, but it has found its way to the boughs of the World Tree instead. Rest, Quickling, and I may study you. Look around you, and I am all that you can see. My roots spread across Dalentarth. My leaves read the winds from Frostbrine Coast to Alabastra. My family and I circle this world. We were saplings when your kind emerged from the dark, and we will grow with you until this world burns once again. My roots spread wide and deep, and I have heard what brought you here, but I cannot see where you go hence. The time of the Fae is passing. I must shelter them in their twilight, and protect them from the Prismere corruption that spreads in their kin.
The gardens of fate are clear to me, and all that ever shall be are visible in its blooms. Issa's end has always been certain. Buried beneath Prismere blades, I can only hold back the tide. But you, perhaps you can change the currents. Where you tread, you mark all you touch. Before I would help you, I must know. Will you be a kind gardener, or a careless reaper? Like all quicklings, you are eager to act. I would rather see the method of your action. A tribe of trolls has been corrupted with Prismere. Their matriarch, Nash, has united the clans in the first step on the path of Dalentarth's demise. You can change this fate, but to what? In doing so, you may awaken a more dangerous threat, like your ally, Aelin Shear. She walks a dark and tangled path. A path you once walked together before you died. But your path is your own now. Defeat Nash, remove the taint of Prismere. Then I shall see who you are, if not who you will become. The troll matriarch and her brood await at Haxi. Their corruption burns my roots and threatens our future. Walk your path and watch your ally. Nash and her brood draw a bloody line. The troll matriarch and her brood await at Haxi. Their corruption burns my roots. I am as world trees have ever been since the dawn of time. I watch, I understand, and I remember. Walk your path and watch your ally. Nash and her brood draw a bloody line across Dalentarth, quickling. The troll matriarch. Prismere has corrupted her, making her cruel, cunning, and far more ambitious than her brethren. She bears the marks of the Tuatha, and she shares their murderous intent. To creatures of flesh like yourself, Prismere is a powerful tool to harness magic. But to creatures of pure magic, like Tuatha or trolls, Prismere is so much more. To them, it is a curse, a blessing, and a rapture all in one. It drives them and consumes them. And to the weak-willed, utterly. Like the sun in the sky, and they will know me when I rot. But they will never know change, nor how to save themselves from their patterns. Only one Fae has ever truly changed, and he now leads an army to destroy your kind. The last great Fae city, at once the birth of their dream, the throne of their great realm, and the deathbed of their kind. In thanks to High King Titarian, my boughs stand vigil over their city in their twilight. Only by my leave may visitors see them in their weakness. The fates of quicklings are very simple. Growing, consuming, expanding, dying, and always rushing predictably along your paths. You are unique among them. You decide your own direction. But does that mean you will choose anything different? I can no longer ignore the quicklings like your kind, who rush through the world, ever anxious, ever eager, ever evolving, but never changing. Fools who hack at my roots and burn, and sometimes sages who hang from my branches and learn. Aelin Shear is a mystery and a simplicity. She is focused in a way few quicklings are. Her dedication is true, but I do not know the cause. Together you have walked dark paths beneath my boughs. You knew one another before your death, or thought you knew each other. Walk your path and watch your ally.
The Ancient One is not ageless, like we fear. Someday, even Niralim will pass from this world. Niralim.
The great tree speaks to few.
Niralim speaks with few children of dust. Go with wisdom.
So, there was indeed a group of brownies attacking those on the trail to Datir. Well, here is the reward I promised for taking care of them. Still, It is strange that brownies would act in such a way. I wonder. I've heard of something that could make them act that aggressively, but it can't be here. We must go to Rundamere. It is the largest brownie den in the Shi. I'm sure we will find the answer there. Make sure you are prepared. Brownies may look weak, but they are ferocious in large numbers. After you are ready, head south. Rundamere is a Fey hollow on the edge of the Shi. I will meet you there. We're going to Rundamere to find out why the brownies have been ambushing people in the Shi. It is a Fey hollow, and the brownies that inhabit it have never been more than a nuisance, until now. Our house found her outside one morning, barely alive, mumbling incoherently. From her ravings, our house figured that she'd been attacked by a thresh. Nasty creatures, those. Amazing that she made it so far after being so grievously wounded. A thresh is a vicious Fey creature, a twisted spirit of the trees. You'll find them deep within the Shi. I steer clear of them, and I suggest you do the same. But if you find yourself up against one, set it ablaze. They make a merry bonfire. Goodbye.
A seerstock! I cannot believe it! Here is your reward. You more than deserve it. I shall administer this to Luca at once. The seerstock should make quick work of the venom. Farewell. Hello. Welcome back. What can I do for you? She's made a remarkable recovery. I knew she was a fighter. I don't know what her business in the Shi is, but I'm hoping she might stay a while longer. Safe travels.
Thank you, stranger. Our house tells me if it were not for you, I would not have recovered. I am not accustomed to such injury. Usually I am more than capable of taking care of myself. I have no desire to encounter that thresh again. I still feel weak, but I am better, thanks to you and our house. I came to the Shi in search of my father, who has been missing for some time. I thought he might be here, for he is obsessed with the Fey hollows of Dalentarth. Our house was kind enough to offer lodging while I searched. He is a most interesting Varani. I still feel weak. Our house was kind enough to offer... I came to the Shi in search of my father, who has been missing for some time. Our house was kind enough to... I would not have survived if he had not found me. He's been very kind to me while I recover. A quiet sort, but if you can get him to speak, he has a disarming sense of humor. He defers to our house when within the lodge, but it's Citric who takes the lead should they venture into the Shi. There was a time when all of Dalentarth was as the Shi is now. Primordial, ancient, knowing. It is a place of Fey magic, both wild and immortal. Tread carefully in its depths. Nature, for all her beauty, can be cruel. You shall not find a more malevolent Fey. I had hoped to avoid them while I traversed the Shi. I fled as soon as I saw the thresh. I did not flee fast enough. Do not make that claim lightly, for a thresh is not something so easily overcome. In truth, I would walk easier through the Shi knowing the thresh has been removed. Please reconsider, for though I wish to see an end put to this creature, I would not risk your life or that of any other. If you are determined to defeat it, I will tell you where I encountered it. But go with care, for I have no desire to send you to your death. The thresh attacked me in the eastern Shi, south of the river. Normally, I would ask that you reconsider such, but because you are insistent, I shall tell you this. The thresh is in the... You have not seen much of the world if you know not of the travelers. Entertainers. Gypsies, thieves. They go where they want, when they want, and more often than not, take what they want along the way. I hear they are always open to recruiting new blood, so if you have a talent, perhaps you should introduce yourself. Later, then.
Good. You made it. It is as I feared. A Croddock has made its lair at the bottom of this hollow. We will need to find it and kill it. The Croddock is sending the brownies of Rundemir out to collect corpses for it to feed on. That is the reason they've been ambushing wayfarers in the Shee. We must find it and destroy it. Croddock are vile beasts, which feast on the flesh of the dead. For some reason, brownies flock to them, eager to act as soldiers, often bringing back kills so the Croddock can feast. Be wary of Croddock. Their spit is deadly. Hard to believe she came so close to death now that she's recovered so quickly. Our house has been showing her around the lodge and talking her ears off about his days as a sea captain. Funny, I've never seen our house act like that around anyone before. Be careful. The teeth of a brownie can leave a hideous scar. How can I help? Be careful. The teeth of a brownie can leave a hideous scar. Done. With the Craddock dead, the brownies should cease their ambushes and the trail to Detir will be safe again. Thank you for your help. I would not have been able to defeat the monster on my own. Another time, then.